The world has never seen such a diverse, such a vast democracy that we have. Never. This is the largest, most diverse in the history of humankind. And if we compare to our eastern neighbor, the leader needs to carry 4 other people out of the top 9 to run that country. Our leader needs to carry 400 million. Now, this makes technology both a tremendous tool,
of carrying them along.
yes, and also a tremendous challenge. Yes, technology makes a huge difference. But it was only 158 years ago that just by passing around chapatis, we could foster a revolution. Okay? And today you can do that much faster. I mean, that took a few days or a few weeks to happen. Today you can, in minutes, have a flash mob get together. You're talking about the neighborhood. I think it's important because that's how flash mobs are organized. That's how Gen Z is being provoked. But it isn't just in the last 2 years that it happened in our neighborhood. Since Mr. Sood mentioned Ukraine, have we forgotten the Orange Revolution? 15 years ago.
Arab Spring.
Arab Spring. So, my point is, technology has the power to dramatically change the game. But the game is essentially the same that it has always been.
I think that was the first book, the unending game or the never-ending game in some
Right.
sense.
So, and that's why this trilogy is important to understand. So, yes, indeed, we have this huge demographic advantage of hundreds of millions of technological minds, and yet we don't yet have a world-conquering either an app or a platform.
A digital
We are beginning to get there. A Zoho, for instance, has panicked many in the Western world. And it makes sense that our leadership is championing Indian-made products, Indian-made platforms. Now, deal with. The world has never seen such a diverse, such a vast democracy that we have. Never. This is the largest, most diverse in the history of humankind. And if we compare to our eastern neighbor, the leader needs to carry 4 other people out of the top 9 to run that country. Our leader needs to carry 400 million. Now, this makes technology both a tremendous tool,
Correct. Of carrying them along.
yes, and also a tremendous challenge. As we are seeing you can see this in the repeated attempts to provoke a Gen Z on the streets kind of thing that we are seeing in our neighborhood. So we have some ways to go to reach a level where, China, for instance, uses technology much more as a tool of control, much less as a threat, because they've barricaded themselves. They've created a walled garden, the largest in the world.
The great firewall of China.
Exactly.
Right?
And so we aren't anywhere there, but we aren't very weak either. We can see that we need to leverage the power of technology much more and ensure against the threats that it poses to our security and to our geopolitical ambitions. I think the roadmap is visible, but we have a lot of work to do.
Mr. Panda, you've been part of multiple parliamentary exchanges, both in the West and in the East, from Japan to the US. You've invested in meeting your counterparts, political leaders across the world. In your assessment today, as we move from, say, 4 trillion to 10 trillion by 2035, middle of the next decade, where do our real interests lie? Which part of the world? I mean, of course, India first, but India would require, perhaps need-based, perhaps pragmatic, perhaps even temporary relationships with a number of actors. Who are those 2 or 3 geographies that are important for us today?
So to take the previous conversation a little forward, and the book also talks about how the other major powers are trying to nudge India in a way that it doesn't walk we are walking a tripwire. We are walking a fine edge of various compulsions. And to take forward what Mr. Sood said a little bit earlier, if some people think that aligning with America to take on China is the answer, don't forget Henry Kissinger, who said to be enemies with America is dangerous, but to be friends is positively fatal. Now, and he was America's preeminent diplomat of the modern era. Now, we can't take hard and fast calls at this point. Everybody is a frenemy.
So agile, nimble, and
everybody is a frenemy. Now, China, dealing with China has its own challenges. Aligning with, benefiting from petroleum products from Russia has its benefits and has its challenges. Now, we can't take a hard and fast call now for many decades to come. Mm-hmm. It has to be, every few months at a time, you have to assess the situation and keep going. So, I think considering the constraints we have, we are doing a reasonably good job. We have many things that we can do better, and we will. Our capacities are being built up. You mentioned about, I've been on about 80 different all-party delegations all over the world, led about 50 of them. I have led one of the Operation Sindoor outreaches. I agree. I think we should have preempted the narrative. But I think it all comes down to one thing, that you're right, that nobody would want India to necessarily gain the clout that it is gaining as we cross the number of trillions in our size of GDP. It doesn't mean they don't want us to grow. They just want us to grow in a manner
growth without influence.
That doesn't disrupt. It's a market that everybody covets. It's not a rising power that everybody welcomes.